So I'm going to share a story with you that I'm sure that almost all of you have heard at least once before, if not several times. And it's a story that I mostly like, but I finally realized what I don't like about it, or that why it always felt kind of incomplete. So again, I understand that you've probably already heard this, but I want to share with you what was nagging at me and why this week's Torah portion, I think, finally solved it for me. So it's a story about a person who goes to the rabbi and says, "Rabbi, I can't handle all my troubles. They're too much for me. What do I do?" And the rabbi says, "Well, come tomorrow and bring all your troubles in a pechel, like in a backpack." And the person brings them, and there are a bunch of other people, and they all have their backpacks full of their troubles and their sorrow. And they are told, okay, you can exchange with anyone you want. And they each look into each other's pechel, into each other's backpack, and they realize there isn't another one that they would rather have, that they're just going to hold on to their own. And that's usually the end of the story. But it bothers me. Because it sounds like there's nothing else you can do. And that you got to keep schlepping around all those sorrows and all that pain, and don't complain because other people have their thing. And so it's mostly a good story, but it's also a little judgy. Like, what are you complaining for? Other people have it worse, and you should be able to handle what you have. And what struck me about that story was there's a verse in the Torah portion this week which says, "Velo yisu alav chet," that don't carry around guilt. Don't schlep it around with you. Now, it doesn't say to not commit sins. It doesn't say that it's okay to do bad things. It says, "Lo yisu alav chet." Don't carry your chet with you like a backpack. Now, Hebrew has a lot of different words for sin. There's aveirah, which is a sin of you crossed a line, you violated someone else's borders, whether emotionally, physically, spiritually, you entered into a space that you didn't belong. Avon is something that you did with malicious intent. A chet is you didn't get it right, or you don't feel good about something, and even though you've been trying your best, you just keep schlepping it around with you. A chet is something that no longer serves you, that is no longer really a part of who you are, but you keep dragging it with you. You keep having it on your shoulders, weighing you down. And I think that that's part of the story that bothered me, is that it doesn't ask you to evaluate whether all those things, all those sorrows, all those pains, all that guilt, all that shame, is it still real, or are you just schlepping it around because that's just what you've always done, or that no one told you it's okay to put some of it down? You can't fix the whole world. You can't solve everything. A lot of us carry with us this sense of failure over things that we never ever could have accomplished anyway. But we bring it with us. And I think part of it we need to think about is what's preventing us from living our lives in a lighter, happier way? What are the things that we're schlepping with us that other people put on us that we never asked for? Or that we put on ourselves because maybe we think we needed to solve someone else's problem. We see someone else schlepping in life, and instead of saying, you've got to learn how to schlep a little better, or you got to learn how to put some of it down, we say, we're going to take that burden off you. Some of that is generational trauma, things that have been put on us from generation to generation to generation. Not because the people were malicious, and it's not because they were trying to do it necessarily, but there's a lot of pain that we pass down to other people, and we feel if we can just take on that pain, we can make things better, and it doesn't work. Taking on someone else's pain doesn't help the other person with their pain, it only makes your life worse. Is there a way that we can help people deal with their own without taking it on? By the way, the person I'm talking to is me. If you get anything else out of this, great, I don't really care. I mean, I care, but not enough to weigh me down. I'm only learning this lesson recently. I have thought that if I just carried everyone else's stuff, that it would be better. And it doesn't work. I became a rabbi to save the Jewish people, and so far it's working. But that was probably too much. Ruth is saying, maybe. By the way, I'm here because of Ruth, and she has helped me understand this. We carry stuff that isn't ours, and it hurts. And it doesn't help anybody else. And we let other people, though, also put stuff on us that we don't deserve. And we are carrying around the shame that other people have made us feel. And there's a writer that I'm a big fan of. His name is Mitch Horowitz. And he says, if you are in proximity to people who diminish you, make you feel inferior, devalue your efforts or aims, delivered backhanded compliments, whatever it is people do to reduce you, I say you're not imagining things, although your antagonists will assert that you are. This is the chief tool of bullies or purveyors of cruelty. You cannot survive sustained hostility, nor should you be expected to. Just like a houseplant cannot survive absence of sunlight or water, such conditions are unnatural and necessary. And once you separate from this, you will be amazed at how many other facets of your life improve. In many cases, you will rediscover yourself. Try to think about who in your life is putting things on you that you can't carry, and it might be you. You might be your single biggest antagonist because you feel that unless you are perfect, you are not worthwhile, that you don't deserve love. And we all do. And none of us can carry everything alone, and none of us are meant to do that. That's why the Torah says, "V'lo yisu alav chet." You don't have to schlep it with you. You're going to have enough stuff in your life anyway. You don't need additional things. So when that story says that you should just hold on to your own pechel, your own backpack of sorrow and shame and guilt and insecurity, I don't agree. Figure out what's yours, figure out what serves you, what you can do better. So you're always going to have your own pechel in life, but it doesn't always have to be so heavy. Shabbat Shalom.